Hi, and welcome back, everyone, to 13 Principles of an Effective Salesperson. Today, we're continuing on with principle number 8, understand your customer. Now, I talked earlier about how you need to use open-ended questions to understand the person, what's important to them, and then sell based on what's important to them. But you actually need to go a little bit deeper than that. You actually need to understand how people think. You need to understand how people think and how they will react in a sales situation. Now, you got to understand, as a salesperson, in any sales situation, you are trying to get a potential customer to buy your product. That's the whole purpose you're interacting with them. To do this, there must be respect, as we talked about earlier. You need to respect yourself, you need to respect your product, and you need to have respect for your potential client. You can't treat them like an idiot, or a lot of times not only will they not buy, but you're going to give yourself a bad reputation and going to really hurt your referral business. Now, how do you show respect for yourself? Well, there's a desire from some salespeople to do whatever it takes to get the sale. If the customer asked them, they would gladly dress up in a chicken suit and dance around, give them insane discounts, take verbal abuse, or even sexual harassment to get the sale. Here's the problem. Don't sacrifice your dignity for the sale. While dancing around like a chicken might get you one sale, after that they will have lost respect for you and they will try to get more and more out of you for each consecutive sale. If they don't respect you, they're going to push you around. It kind of goes back to our frame control we talked about earlier. You've got to have yourself recognized as, I am the authority here. I am here to help you. I'm here to set you up with something that will benefit your life. And they need to respect that and expect the same level of respect towards you that you would want to give to them. You got to respect your product. Do you really believe your product is good? Do you believe that it's worth the price tag you've put on it? I mean, do you honestly believe that it's worth that amount of money? Don't let that potential customer disrespect that product. I had a customer one time that I was selling a product to, and the customer began to rail about how stupid they thought the product was. They just talking about how it's awful, it's stupid, and I don't see why anyone would waste their money on this. Now, a lot of salespeople, in order to not make the customer angry, not, set up a bad, build up contention there, they'd be like, I understand where you're coming from, but, there's some great things here and really soft. You know what? No. In that instance, I would say, excuse me. I am here representing this product because I believe in it. Because I believe that it can change people's lives. It can help them live for the better. So please, do not disrespect the product that I believe in. What if you said that? Look at those two different situations. The one, you're in a place of weakness. Well, I understand, it's not for everyone. You don't respect, if you don't respect the product, why should they? Especially not to buy enough to buy it. So you've got to respect the product yourself. Don't let your client disrespect it. There's a lot of times, one of the ways in which we disrespect our product a lot is by giving bigger and bigger discounts. I remember one of my sales, in one of the sales jobs I worked, we were allowed to drop the price to certain levels. So we were actually selling at a slightly higher markup, and we could drop it if we wanted to. And a lot of the sales individuals got in the real habit of dropping it as low as they could go. But I remember something my trainer said to me. He said to me, here's the higher price. Here's the price that you should probably want to sell it at to make the most commissions. And it's worth every penny at that price. At that price, it is worth every penny they spend. You are giving them a good deal just by that because they're going to get more benefit out of it than they're going to pay at that price. So it is a value even at that price. And that was a completely different idea to me. I was like, wait, but we can drop the price farther. I mean, wouldn't we want to do that? He's like, why? I respect this product and know that it's worth that much money. Now, I want them to be able to have this product because I know it will change their life. So I can and have a tool to where I can drop it if need be in order to make sure that they are able to take advantage of this. But at the same time, I respect that this product is worth more than that regular price tag. That if they buy at that regular price tag, they have completely gotten their money's worth. And it really taught me about the level of respect he had for the product, that he truly believed in it. And because he believed in it so strongly, he was the best salesperson to ever be seen by that company. So don't let your customer disrespect your product, and don't let yourself disrespect your product by downgrading it or continually discounting it lower than its true value to the individual. You are there to help them. You need to remember that. You are there to help them. If they don't want your help, then they aren't worth your time. Your product can help people. It can change their lives. If they don't want it, they're not willing to listen. There are lots of other people out there who need this and who are waiting for it. Respect yourself and your product enough to not waste your time on those who can't see its value. Now, you do also need to, though, respect the customer. Your potential customers deserve your respect. The best customers are referral customers. They have the highest retention rate, the highest close rate, and they buy more product. And customers are only going to refer to people that they can trust and who have shown them respect. Now, how do you show them respect? Don't insult their intelligence. Speak to them professionally. Be courteous. You can be forceful. You can be insistent, but yet still be courteous. Use professional business language when talking with them. It's okay to have a little bit of fun. Make sure, though, that you stay within the realms of what is professional, so that way you can show them the proper respect. And they're only going to trust people who respect them. So respect them. They will then refer people to you because they trust you and you showed them respect, and they know you will show respect to their friends. And that will get you your highest retention rates, your highest close rates, and people who will come in excited and wanting to buy more product. But you have to realize something about people. Now, I've talked a lot about having respect for them. We care about the customer. We are here to help them. We are here to help change their lives. But in order to respect them, you must believe that they're intelligent individuals. But being intelligent doesn't mean you're very observant. There's a lot of really intelligent people out there who aren't quite the best at noticing things. Most effective sales tactics are actually really simple. And if you know what's coming, you know about them, they're really easy to see. Yet people don't recognize them. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that they're being sold. Why? Because deep down, they're hoping that you will make their life better. They are subconsciously ignoring how obvious the sales tactics are, because in truth, they're hoping that you're right, and this will change their life. Now, I'm going to share a story with you that this completely blew my mind and completely changed my thoughts on this principle. And it was the story of the drop. Now, at a company I used to work for, as I mentioned, we were able to start at a higher price point, and then from there, we could actually drop the price or sell smaller packages, sell a product that was slightly less expensive but gave them a lot of the same benefits. And we could do that in order to be able to help get these customers something, okay? Give them something to help make their lives better. So I started out with this customer, and for, namesakes, we'll just call him Steve. Okay, I was talking with Steve, and I started out by selling him a product that it was quite a lot of money, and you could finance it for $500 a month. Now, he couldn't do that. So when he said he couldn't do that, I said, I did what we called the drop. Wow. Gosh, that really stinks. I really wanted to help get you something today. In which case, he's like, oh, it's okay. You did a good job. It's okay. It just didn't work for me. He starts to then, try and make me feel better. And I say, well, let me ask you a question. What if we had something that we knew you could afford? I mean, wouldn't that make more sense? And he says, yeah, of course that would. And so I say, okay, so how much of that $500 is just too much? Now, are you noticing how obvious this is? I mean, I am literally leading him by the nose. It's very obvious what I'm doing if you're looking at it from the outside. But from the inside, he just went completely along with it. I said, so how much is too much? And he said, $200. So I said, okay, so you can do $300. So then I started to pitch him a product that would be $300. And he's like, oh, no, that's still too much. I still can't do that. And here's what I did. Wow, gosh, that really stinks. I really wanted to get you something today. Let me ask you a question. What if we had something that we knew you could afford? Wouldn't that make more sense to you? Well, yeah. So how much of that $300 is just too much? And he said to me, $200 of it. So I said, okay, so you can do $100 a month. And then he started saying, no, I can't do that. And so I said, wow, gosh, that really stinks. I really wanted to get you something for you today. Let me ask you a question. What if we had something we knew you could afford? How much is, and I did that exact same process 5 times, repeating the exact same words, word for word, until I got down to a price point he really could do, got him set up with a smaller product, but something that would still help him. And the whole time he then thanked me. Oh yeah, thanks. Oh, that was great. I'm so glad we got this set up. He never noticed that I was repeating myself word for word 5 times in a row. When I did this, it just blew my mind. I was like, how did he not notice? How did he not notice? Is he stupid? And I realized, no, he's not stupid. The guy's not stupid. His brain intentionally didn't notice because it wanted to buy. He wanted my product. He wanted to be able to purchase it. And so his brain was trying to lead him to that end. And so it ignored how blatantly obvious that sales tactic was 5 different times until we got down to a price point that he could actually afford. I mean, 4 different times with 5 different price points. And he never noticed. Why didn't he realize what was going on? He wasn't stupid, but he wasn't observant. Because deep down he wanted to buy. So, contrary to popular opinion, you don't actually have to be that charismatic. You just need to have a process that works. And then you can just repeat it. And they really won't notice. That is, if they actually want to buy. If you've done your job previously, you've helped create a positive story for them, you've worked on selling emotionally, you've laid out the benefits versus the costs. If you've done all that job right, and it is an individual who is going to benefit from your product, they're going to want to buy. And at that point, they'll ignore sales tactics that are blatantly obvious because deep down they're wanting to buy. And they're just waiting for you to give them a good enough reason or a price point that they can actually work with in order to do it. Now, that customer had told me, Steve had told me multiple times during our earlier conversation that he had no money. 0. Zip. Yet he did end up buying. So, what happened? What happened to him having no money? Why did he tell me that he had no money if he did? Because he did have money, but he exaggerated and he lied to me. He lied to me. He said he had no money, but apparently he did because he bought. Now, why would he lie? As I said earlier, people don't like to be sold, but they like to be helped. So when he realized that he might end up buying, that I gotten him to a place where he's like, oh, geez, this looks good. If I can actually afford it, I might end up buying. He gets scared. And so he exaggerated and lied about his financial difficulty. But you got to understand why they lie. Okay, this is not vicious. It's not malicious. They lie for a reason, and they don't do it intentionally. They don't intentionally lie. They don't even realize that they are lying to you when they say it. In their minds right then, that fear of their financial situation is so big that in their mind they have no money. It's not true, it's not factual, it's an emotional response. They make the fear and the problem bigger than it is. The moment that they realize that they might end up buying, they get scared. And people will do strange things when they're scared. When they're under that fear, they will say things to get out of it that really aren't true. And their mind will come up with any possible reason why they can't buy. Because you've been talking with them. You've got them excited about it. And then the brain says, whoa, warning, warning, warning. We're going to end up buying. And they go, uh-oh, I've got to do something. I've got to do something. I got to throw something out there that's going to make him stop. I have no money. He won't even realize what he's doing. He won't even realize that he's lying to me. And I would never take my counsel for my fears. A lot of people feel at this point, they're like, oh, they're getting all scared. They're lying. I need to back off. No, I would never take counsel from my fears. That's not where you want to take counsel from in your life and your life decisions. And so I'm never going to take counsel from my fears, and I'm not going to let them do it either. Okay, I respect them too much to let them take counsel. So while you need to respect them and believe that they are smart, intelligent individuals who can make decisions for themselves, you also do need to understand that they're not very observant. They're going to not 50 to 60% of what you say during the presentation, they're not going to remember a bit of it. The 20% of what they remember will be wrong, and then the last 20% they'll actually remember correctly. They will unknowingly lie to you and exaggerate to protect themselves from being sold. They're not bad people. They don't even realize they're doing it when they do it. It is all coming from a place of emotions, and emotions always make things more exaggerated than they actually are. You need to know these things. You need to understand this because it's going to make it a lot easier for you later on when we talk about overcoming objections if you understand that a big chunk of the time, they are going to lie to you and they are going to exaggerate. And cut yourself some slack on having to be charismatic because honestly, like I said, they're not very observant. They don't recognize half the things you say. It was so funny because one of my sales managers, half the things he would say were completely inflammatory, but he always managed to laugh them off afterwards and the customer completely forgot it. People aren't very observant. You need to make sure that you get the most important information through and recognize 60% of what you say, they're not even going to remember. So find a good process and then just hit repeat. And they won't even notice you're repeating yourself. And when it comes time to talk about overcoming objections, remember, they don't mean to. They're not bad people. But because of their emotions and they get scared of getting sold, they will unknowingly lie and exaggerate to you to protect themselves.